Mr Simms.
Thank you, Madam Acting Deputy President. I rise to speak on the Marshall government's budget and the failure of that budget to deal with the climate crisis and to deal with growing inequality here in our state. And, Madam Acting Deputy President, looking at this budget, one of the key questions that comes to mind is where is the support for the most vulnerable and disadvantaged people in our community? Where is the investment in social housing? Where is the investment in new public housing? This government has committed $662 million to an investment in an extension of the Adelaide Convention Centre. And guess how much, Madam Acting Deputy President, they have invested in new social housing during this budget? Can you guess? Well, nothing. The answer, of course, is nothing. A big, fat zero. The government has made much of its focus on affordable housing for home buyers, but that's not going to assist those that are excluded from the housing market, particularly when one considers that their definition of affordable housing is well beyond the reach of most South Australians. They're also giving away $10.7 million in support and compensation to landlords who were impacted by the government's 2021 decision to close a loophole allowing them to minimise their tax. So why on earth are we giving away more and more taxpayer funds to subsidise landlords? They're selling off $80 million of public land, and they're going to be reducing government assets, and these assets could have been used for social housing or other social purposes. And of course, this government makes much of its environmental credentials. And so, flicking through the budget, I expected to see climate change being referenced. Again, Madam Acting Deputy President, I ask you, how many times was climate change referenced in the Honourable Treasurer's speech? How many times is it referenced in the budget document, given it is one of the key crises that we face as a state? Again, the answer is simple. Zero. Wasn't mentioned at all. Didn't even warrant a mention from the Liberals in terms of setting out their economic plan for South Australia. And really, that's not that surprising when one considers the absurd approach that they have taken to the electric vehicle industry. I was gobsmacked, Madam Acting Deputy President, to see that they have revived their toxic policy to place a tax on electric vehicles. This is a policy that has been condemned internationally. It's been absolutely panned by the global automotive manufacturers and industry experts. In fact, the policy has been described as the world's worst electric vehicle policy, and it's been rolled out right here in South Australia under the watch of the Liberal government. Well, really the Liberals should be doing a U-turn here. Madam Acting Deputy President, they should be doing a U-turn, dumping this ridiculous tax and instead focusing on what they can be doing to encourage electric car manufacturing here in South Australia, to encourage electric car purchasing here in South Australia. Why not invest in that industry? Why not waive the stamp duty for these vehicles to make it more attractive for people to buy electric cars? Victoria has made themselves a complete laughingstock by introducing an EV tax early this year, and now South Australia is moving into the same territory. What a disgrace that is, and why on earth are the Liberal government trashing South Australia's clean and green reputation in this way? Madam Acting Deputy President, this year the world has woken up to the climate emergency, and as I said, climate's not even mentioned in the Treasurer's speech. But we also need to have a vision for dealing with the loss of trees in this budget. We used to have a vision for 1 million trees. Now we have a vision for tens of thousands of trees. And the loss of trees is decimating Adelaide and destroying our natural environment. Indeed, there were 75,000 trees cut down over the last year. The Treasurer, just to conclude, has talked a lot about his focus on young people. Well, we can't rely on the pandemic grounding young people here in South Australia. Perhaps if they want to be serious about attracting young people to South Australia, the Liberals could come up with some ideas for long-term jobs. And again, there's nothing for that in this budget.